Can Donald Trump beat Joe Biden in 2024? A lot of people say no, he's just too unpopular. That's what the media wants you to believe. That's what they hope will happen. But the reality is much different than that. In fact, a brand new poll done for Harvard, that Harvard, the one in Cambridge, Massachusetts, full of liberals who hate Donald Trump, it shows a very different reality. Here's what registered voters had to say. When asked who their most favorable political figures in the country were, number one was Elon Musk. He comes in at 47% favorable. But number two is Donald Trump, the person the media tells you doesn't have any support and is unlikely to win. 46% have a favorable impression of him. Governor Ron DeSantis comes in at number three with a 45% favorability rating. But here's the kicker. Joe Biden, the person they have no problem talking about ad nauseum, he comes in number 5 on the list at 42% and 52% unfavorable, well below Donald Trump. Unbelievable, isn't it? And when they were asked about Joe Biden, if the Democratic primary was held today, who would they vote for? Only 40% of Democrats would vote for him in the primary. And if the election were held today between Donald Trump and Joe Biden, guess what? Donald Trump beats Joe Biden 47-40. That's a 7-point spread. Now, the media wants to talk about issues that don't bode well for Trump. They want to criticize Trump. But when asked, did President Trump work with Russia to win the presidency, 56% of Americans said that was a false story. When I'm asked about the Steele dossier, 56% again said that was a false story. Here's the funny thing. When they were asked about the Hunter Biden laptop story, whether it was real or disinformation, 59% of Americans thought it was real. When they were further asked whether or not they believed Hunter Biden was involved in illegal influence peddling and tax evasion, almost 2/3 of Americans, 63%, said that Hunter Biden, yes, he was involved in influence peddling. You don't hear that coming out of the media, do you? When they were asked about whether or not they were concerned about interference by the FBI and intelligence agencies in a future election, 37% were very concerned and 33% were somewhat concerned. Now, my math isn't great, but if you put those two numbers together, you get 70% of Americans that are concerned that the FBI and intelligence officials will get involved in an upcoming election. That should concern us all. When you break down the poll, though, it does give us some really interesting insight into why people are concerned about the direction of the country. 60% of registered voters say that the country is on the wrong track. When asked about the economy, 62% said that we're heading in the wrong direction, and 49% are worried about their personal financial situation. When you add up the three issues that voters were most concerned about, inflation came in at number 1, 34%, immigration number 2 at 27%, and the economy and jobs at 25%. None of that bodes well for the current administration. But remember, these same cable and network hosts, reporters, and pundits, they all were so quick to decry voter suppression and interference in elections, always pointing the finger towards Donald Trump. But it's ironic because these are the people that are actually interfering in elections and suppressing the vote. They ignore stories and polls that are contrary to their personal liberal far left positions. Keep all this in mind as we move forward towards the 2024 election. Well, if you enjoyed this video, click the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to make sure that you never miss another video.